So my name is Abhishek Kumar. I have born and brought up in Dhanbad, Jharkhand. Most of my schooling has been from that city only. Uh, Post my education from there, I moved on to Asansol to complete my engineering from Asansol Engineering College itself. Asansol also happens to be my hometown where my parents stay. I have a family of four: my mom, my dad, myself, and there is one younger sister. So my dad is in LIC, my mom is a homemaker, and my sister, she is in another IT company. Apart from education, apart from academics, I am quite interested, or quite inclined towards fitness. I have won a few planned challenges at my office in TCS Bhubaneswar. And apart from that, there is one corporate fitness challenge. I also happen to be a second runner up in that. So, post completing my graduation, I joined TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, and it's been 4 years now that I am working there. At this point in time, my profile is EDI consultant at my client's end. I deal with client, the career, and the engineers developing those projects for my client. Uh, this is how most of my work uh, I deal with. Apart from my office, I have this activity of studying books, reading books. Reading books would be a good phrase. So just that I'm not too much into reading, but a few fictions that I read. So while after joining TCS and working there for 1 year, I realized that it is good to work on systems, developing a few things. But then I realized I wish to go ahead because I looked up to my manager, and I saw him making decisions, managing so many folks in the project. And sometimes the situation in the project is not good. It's difficult. Still, he handles it calmly, and the ways that he chooses to improve it. So that gives me a fascination. That gives me a curiosity in a way. And with that curiosity, I decided that I wanted to go for a manager, and I that is why I chose MBA. And apart from this, I have this another aspiration to have a business or venture of my own. So how I am looking at it is, I go ahead and complete my MBA. I'll get a head start in my career. Once I get that head start, I will join another organization, learn the managerial skills. Sorry, not learn, but utilize my managerial skills that I have learned from B school. Experience how the work is there, and then after doing this, I'm planning to utilize again those skills and experience in nurturing my own venture. After having done job for 4 or 5 years. Uh, so before joining Verbal Hub, uh, I I had 600, and I just it was 45 days that I had in my hand, and I just prepared on my own. Uh, Whatever is there conventional in book, I just went through those. My quants was good, so quants I in quants I performed well, but verbal was not at par, not even close to par. So I was just relying on my older strategies, old school methods. Go through, like, if it is some sentence correction, go through each of the options and decide which one seems a good fit. So that way I ended up wasting a lot of time. Same for critical reasoning and reading comprehension. But critical reasoning I was good because it deals with logic, the critical analysis. So that part was, I believe, was good. uh, RCs and sentence correction was not as good. So that and I felt that I need preparation, so I chose Verbal Hub. And once I came to Verbal Hub, and I met you, sir. You helped me a lot, and I we started with sentence correction, especially for verbal sentence correction. The way the methods that you told me after giving me a few basics was awesome. Even in the paper, in the exam that I wrote, I was feeling, I mean, the most recent exam that I wrote, I had this feeling that I'm doing it really quick. I mean, way better and way improved than what I have done last time. Sentence correction, especially because earlier I used to take 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. This time I was taking not more than 1.5 minutes, and still making it. I believe it was correct. I mean, when I was writing the paper, it was correct. And splitting options all apart. Critical reasoning was also improved because my score, I don't know, maybe scores didn't reflect it, but my critical reasoning was good in a way that I was able to go through the options and eliminate which one should not be there. And the elimination made it even faster to get to the right answers. So that one was an improvement. RCs, I have learned strategies from you. I applied those, the very a part of it. I mean, you have taught me a number of strategies, but I could not give enough time to it. But even the partial strategies that I have applied, let's say the primary purpose, uh, those helped. Those really helped because even in my last attempt, I was able to eliminate the options. I will get down to two options which seemed most correct. But then I was stuck. This time, this was not the case. I was able to choose the right answer after eliminating the three or two incorrect options. So this was an improvement. However, had I been able to apply the other strategies that I have learned from you, I would have done way better than this. So, sentence correction, sir, what you taught me, sir, I believe that is enough, sir. Because with that preparation, out of 10, I'm sure if I am present at the moment, no matter how difficult the question level goes, what is the difficulty level of question? Out of 10, 8 questions can go outright correct, and within that time limit, 1.5 minutes per question. So critical, sentence correction is good. Uh, just need to practice that. Need to uh, have that learnings that you have taught. For example, you taught me how to, so as to eliminate, so as to try to avoid ing wala parts, try to choose verb instead of verb being used as a noun. So these very smaller things help a lot. It makes you a lot faster in that in that process, in the selection of correct answer process. So for RCs, the preparation part would be to first, if you are already good in reading, so I believe uh, you have an advantage. I mean, someone who is preparing has an advantage. But let's say even if you are not there, even if you are not an avid reader, not so good in reading, so the strategic part would help. A strategic part in the sense the strategy how you approach the questions. Let's say there is an RC given, you are decent reader, you read it, you have a bare minimum understanding of the RC passage, and then you moved on to questions. So, as per the question, the strategy to approach the particular question, it depends. So, for primary purpose, it will be different. For inferential part, it will be different. And these strategy once learned that for primary purpose you have to do this, you have to for inference you have to look at options this way, or you have to look at back at the passage this way. Just practicing it, practicing it time and again, I believe helps a lot, because from practice you will learn that what is flaw in this approach, how this approach works for you and how it doesn't. Once you know that, you will also know, the one someone who is preparing will also know what is working from them and what not. Let's say some strategy is indeed good, but if it is not working, it doesn't, it not work. So difficulty level and how it will work or not for you again matters for RCs. So with practice that will come easy. For CR critical reasoning, I would suggest, I have once read that book, CR Bible. After reading that particular book, I started practicing and imbibing I mean, those learnings in the practices. So I learned it that way, and once I have practiced it, the only thing I I would suggest for critical reasoning would be to practice it every day for 1 hour, at least for a month. So that helps, because in a way, uh, uh, I mean, those learnings has to be inside you. So let's say before I have had these strategies in place, like finding what strengthens or what weakens an argument. I used to go through all the options, and again, I don't know. I cluelessly move here and there. I what to do with the options. But later on, when I learned this, and I know, okay, so when strengthen is asked something that is adding some value, that is adding a point in favor of author. So that way I was not even, I have that in my mind, but I was not able to utilize it. Once practicing it for a month or over a month daily, it went inside. I mean, it went inside in the sense that I was able to recall it, even if I have not uh, practiced critical reasoning for long. Because again, let's say 1.5 months you practiced it, and 2 weeks or 3 weeks I left it. Again, when I start, it will be very easier for me to catch up the pace for starting it again. Five steps. The first step would be uh, to plan it. Uh, Finding your weakness. First of all, the first step would be finding your weakness. Which area, in especially in RC, you need to work on RC, sorry, RCR, RC, or sentence correction. Second step would be to strategize it, to plan it, that how many number of hours you can dedicate it to a particular weakness, or how many hours you should be dedicating to your strength areas. Third thing would be to applying your learnings in those study sessions. Let's say you have planned 3 hours every day, so to apply those learnings in those 3 hours is very crucial, because if that learning is there, you have the uh, points how to apply some strategy, and you do not apply, it will not work at all. Fourth thing I strongly believe would be mocks. So once this part is done for the strategic part or application part is done for 2 months, or 2 months I believe would suffice, but let's say if it goes up to 3 months, once you have done this, you need to know how you are applying in the real exam scenario. So that is mocks. So in mocks, it is very important to apply those in the given time limit, and also to know which one is working, where you are falling short, and how to improve on those. So that was the fourth point. The final point would be to go through mocks and analyze it again. That I already mentioned, but go through mocks and analyze it on overall basis. You will know that this point is your strength, but still it is not working in the paper. What shortcoming is there? So working on those will ensure. And if you give a proper time, let's say in time, the 3 months preparation part, 1.5 months for mocks and analysis, and then again improvement. So in fourth or fifth month, it I believe it will definitely go somewhere around 750 if done properly. Verbal has definitely been very helpful. uh, I was doubtful. I was skeptic when when I reached out to Verbal Hub, and I was uh, not sure if I should be taking up preparation for Verbal Hub, because Gmat is a global level based paper, and I don't know how Indian institutions or Indian coachings would have fared. I mean, though they definitely Indian coachings are good, but reaching out to Verbal Hub without too much review from someone who I know, so it was I was not so sure. It was just internet from where I have read about Verbal Hub. But when I reached Verbal Hub, when I planned my study there, strategized. It really helped. It was above my expectation, to be honest. And it really helped. It really helped in a way. uh, my scores went up. First thing, my scores went up. And second thing, I got to know what I was missing in my first attempt, what I was not aware. How the Gmat works, the typical exam scenario. Someone who is not very extraordinary in verbal, and they want to improve their verbal score in Gmat, in such exams. Verbal Hub really helps.